Hi everybody, it's Lisa from Bake. Sorry we're a couple minutes behind. I just got orders out into my green frog boxes on my step and people are coming picking stuff up. So sorry, I was trying to multitask and it backfired on me. So I am Lisa from Bake and I'm here with my wonderful baking crew. Introduce yourself if you want.
Hi, I'm Rowan and I'm 9 years old.
Hi, I'm Scotty and I'm 5 years old.
Hi, I'm Dale and I'm Lisa's wife.
Wife?
Wife?
Because he's staying at home now.
Yeah.
So we're very glad that you're here. We're doing things a little bit differently today. For those of you who have tuned in for our baking lives before, we were doing them in English. But we've been approached by the Francophone school here in Lethbridge. Dale is from Quebec and he is Fringlish and my kids are bilingual. So I am not though. So we're doing things a little bit differently today. I'm going to do things in English and then these people are going to do it in French. So you're going to get 2 languages today and we're going to see how that works. We're using you guys as a trial run before we submit our baking classes to the school. So wish us luck. If you've tuned in for our baking classes before, you know the drill. If you haven't checked out any of our baking lives before, you'll know that they're a little bit wild because my kids are here. And you can, I always post them after the fact, so if you want to check out my previous baking classes, you're more than welcome to do that. What have we done? We've done cinnamon buns, muffins, cookies, soft pretzels.
Cinnamon buns?
I think we said cinnamon buns. So I have 3 children. My middle son, Seamus, prefers to build Lego. So he is going to do that. He will likely pop in here when he needs a snack because he has done that before. But Rowan and Scotty are old pros at this and they are going to do their best today. So we are making traditional British or English scones, which are like a biscuit but sweet. And we're also going to do lemon curd. So I posted the live earlier with your ingredients and your supplies. Hopefully you guys all got ready earlier. If not, I will take things slow and you can get ready as we go along. We are going to start with the lemon curd today because we want that to cool down as we make our scones. Ideally, you would make lemon curd ahead of time and you would have it cooling in your fridge. Even if you did it yesterday, that would be great, but we don't have the time. So you're going to eat warm lemon curd today and it will be a little bit runnier than usual. If you put it in the fridge, it gets nice and thick, but we don't have time for that. So I'm going to read a couple of comments, and while I do, Rowan and Scotty, what are the first things that we do when we are baking?
Wash your hands.
Thank you.
Heat the oven.
Thank you.
If you have long hair, you could tie your hair up.
Yes.
And if you want, you can wear an apron.
Thank you. So, en français, yes, Rowan?
Français maintenant.
Tu dois laver tes mains.
On va préchauffer le four.
Si tu as les longs cheveux, tu peux les tailler. Et si tu veux, tu peux porter un apron.
So we do have clean hands, but we want to be a good example. So we are going to use some hand sanitizer. And I've got my hair tied back. I always have it tied back.
I don't.
So Rowan, shall we talk about mommy daddy jobs and kid jobs?
I'm kidding.
So what is an example of a mommy daddy job?
Setting the oven.
The oven. And why would that be a mommy daddy job?
Because you could set the oven at the wrong temperature.
Yep, so anything that has to do with safety, right? And the oven is hot, but Rowan knows what he's doing and he sets the oven a lot. So he is going to do that on his own. If you're old enough and your mommy and your daddy don't need to do it for you, you set it at 400 right now. So our oven runs a little bit hot, so we're gonna set ours at 375, Rowan. So those of you at home, 400, okay? Set your oven now so that it gets nice and toasty. And Scotty, why don't we talk about kid jobs? What are some kid jobs?
Cracking eggs and stirring.
Cracking eggs and stirring is great kid jobs. And anything that doesn't have to do with safety is a great kid job, okay? But you guys at home, I want you to have your mommy and daddy either help or at least supervise you today, okay?
And if you don't know how to crack eggs, just let your mom or your dad.
Thank you. Great thinking. Dale, can you and Rowan talk about mommy daddy jobs and kid jobs en français?
En français. Fait que pour les enfants, tu peux craquer des œufs. Puis aussi, tu peux mélanger tous les ingrédients. Puis pour les parents, c'est le four.
Ou comme mélanger le comme lemon curd sur le comme stove.
So, Jody, how would lime curd be? Divine. I have key lime juice. Perfect. Do it. Yes. 100%. Hi, Colleen. I'm so glad you're here. And Isla and Megan say, bravo, Rowan, tu parles bien et français. Is that right? Was that close? I get points for trying anyway, right?
She says she knows French. Well, she is getting better.
Barely.
Yes.
Okay, let's get started. So you guys, we're going to start with a lemon curd, right? So I'm just going to pivot you over here. For those of you who don't know, I do talk about it a lot because it does affect me a lot. So I happen to just never get over it. I have rheumatoid arthritis and sometimes I do really, really well. And then other times it kind of kicks my butt. And I'm having a day where it's really kicking my butt. And so I'm trying to take it easy on my body and not do things that are giving me problems. And whisking and rolling are a problem for me today. So I'm going to boss Dale around today. And he's going to do part of this lemon curd.
I can whisk.
Thank you. Okay, so Rowan and Dale are going to tackle the lemon curd. And don't mind my zit here. I know. I'm self-conscious about it. Here, let's do this. 41 years old and she still breaks out. Can anybody relate? Awful. I'm going to pivot you. That counts, Rowan. Mom needs to stick together. Moms need to stick together. Thank you. Okay. All right. So Rowan is going over to the cooktop. For you kids at home who do a lot of cooking, who are comfortable with the stove, go right ahead. If you need your parents' help or supervision, now's the time to ask for it, okay? So what we have for the lemon curd is we need 4 eggs, half cup sugar. I'm going to go through this again, so don't freak out. If you're using real lemons, you want to get a grater, a cheese grater. No. And you want to have your lemon and zest. I'll walk you through that as we go. Salt, lemon juice from either lemons or just lemon juice from a bottle from the store, and butter. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do for our lemon curd, Rowan, is we are gonna separate our 4 egg whites and egg yolks, okay? So everybody at home, get 2 bowls and 4 eggs.
And if it's too hard for you, you could take like a bottle and...
No, we're not doing that. Thank you.
No, we're not.
Rowan's obsessed with life hacks right now, and Mommy has no appreciation for them. We're going to do egg yolks and whites the old-fashioned way. Tammy, thank you. All right. So here
We go.
we go.
I want you on the second. Why do you
Ready?
I thought Mom was doing it.
Okay.
And you have to separate the eggs.
Okay, guys. So you might need Mom's help to separate your yolks and your whites. but I will walk you through it right now. So take your egg and crack it, and in one bowl, you are going to slide your egg yolk back and forth between your two shells. And what you'll see is your white will start to come apart and separate from your yolk as you move it back and forth between your two shells, okay? So white in this bowl and put your yolk here, okay? You need 4 of those. So take your time and do this properly, okay? Because you don't want the white and the yolk mixed up. So back and forth between your two shells, and your yolk and your white will separate.
And she's making it look easy.
Can you guys talk about this en français?
Tu dois prendre, comme séparer le egg white et le yolk. Et quand tu prends un demi de le shell et tu tu le mets dans l'autre et ça va comme...
Ça va couler dans une bol, puis tu mets l'autre dans l'autre bol quand c'est fini.
Okay, so we don't need the whites. You can set these aside and find something to do with them later. I know I'll be making macarons with mine. That's easy. Okay, so put your 4 yolks into your pot.
Mettez 4 œufs dedans, yolks,
Thank you.
dedans le comme...
Messy Rowan. Into your yolks is half a cup of white sugar.
Fait que dans ça, tu mets une demi-tasse de sucre blanc, ou blanche.
Now, if you're using real lemon at home, I want you to take your lemon on your cheese grater and use the finest grate and get some lemon zest into your pot here. If you're not using lemon, you obviously don't have the zest, and that's okay too. And you also need half a teaspoon of salt into the pot. Thank you. Now, this recipe calls for 6 tablespoons of butter, which is equivalent to 1/3 cup butter. What I'm going to do with this butter is I don't want to melt it so that it's really hot. I just want to melt it so that it turns into a liquid state. So I'm going to pop it in my microwave and I'm going to watch it very, very closely, okay? So once again, I'm going to melt my butter just until it's liquid, but I don't want it hot, okay? Scotty, can you leave that alone?
Fait que maintenant, sur une assiette, on va mettre le beurre dans un micro-ondes pour à peu près 12 secondes. Puis après ça, on va voir si ça a fondu assez.
I love sour stuff, so I like
Beaucoup de citron.
drink lemon juice.
Rowan does love lemon curd. Okay, so I'm going to take my butter and I'm going to put it into my pot. Now your final ingredient is 1/3 cup lemon juice. So whether that comes from the bottle of lemon juice from the store or a 1/3 cup off of real lemons, that's up to you. I've been telling everybody that we are doing recipes at home that are good for beginners and that are also appropriate for the ingredients that we have at home already that you don't need to go to the store for, because everybody should be trying to go to the store as little as possible and use what we've got at home, okay? So one more time, 6 tablespoons of butter or 1/3 cup butter in a liquid form, not too hot, and 1/3 cup lemon juice, okay? Now once I add this all together, I want to take a whisk, like this, you guys, and I want to turn my heat on to medium low. We don't want it too hot and we don't want it cool. We do want to bring it to a really gentle boil.
And don't stop stirring.
And don't stop stirring, okay? So you're just gonna whisk the daylights out of this lemon curd and we're gonna boil it for several minutes. And while Rowan does that, I'm gonna come and read your comments, okay? So do you wanna talk about that in French?
Oh, yeah.
Ok, fait que maintenant, on a mis ça sur moyenne, pas sur haut parce que ça va être trop chaud. Puis on va mélanger, on n'arrête pas de mélanger parce que ça va brûler. Fait que on a mis 1/3 de tasse de beurre. Le citron, la même affaire, 1/3 de tasse. Puis les œufs, puis c'est tout.
So just make sure you're constantly stirring that just so that it doesn't scorch or burn in your bowl. And also you don't want it to curdle, okay? So just make sure you keep that moving around. Okay. All right. Hopefully you guys are keeping up and we're not too fast or too slow. Okay. So this is going to take a few minutes. Just be patient and keep on stirring. How's it looking? Awesome.
I don't really want it to curdle.
You don't want curdled food now, do you? Butter. Whose butter did we use? Here.
Yeah, Mom, why did you put the ingredients from the...
Ok, fait que maintenant, ça commence à faire les petits boules. Maintenant, on a le four.
Is it boiling yet?
Non.
Okay. It will start to boil soon. And after it starts to boil, if you need to, you can turn it down. We want a gentle boil. We don't want to boil it as if we're making pasta or something like that. But it needs to thicken and cook those eggs. And the longer it cooks, the thicker it will get. Rowan, is it still runny? No, not really, kind of.
It's getting thick.
And it's curdling bad.
And Scotty's over here licking things,
Mom, this is bad.
playing with the bowl and spoons. How are you guys doing?
Look at... There's a spider over here, Mommy.
Oh, brother. There is. I thought it's a bottle of wine. I think it's a wine.
That's what I thought. But it has no lid. Did you kill it? Mom?
Yeah, it's under the bottle of wine. I want you to forget about it, please. Okay, this is looking great. How's everybody doing at home? Are you boiling yet? We're going to boil it for a few minutes and let it thicken up and cook. No, this is great. Just keep on stirring with that. Do you want to go sit in? We'll make the scones soon.
Okay.
Smells good. How are you doing, Isla? Hey, you guys. So your goal for the boiling is just to thicken up your curd and cook those egg yolks. And your lemon curd will get thicker once you put it in the fridge and cool it down. So no matter how long you boil it, hot curd will be runnier than a cold curd. But yeah, because the butter is melted, that's right. So the same as if you had warm butter versus butter in the fridge. So just, you need to boil it enough that it's cooked properly and thickens up. You don't need to over boil it though. So just keep your eye on it. And when you're done, let me know and we will move on to the curds. Isla is whisking away. Cafe.
You mean,
What did I say?
you said we will continue with the curds.
Sorry. We're going to move on to the scones. Thank you, Ron. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so ours is done. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly transfer this into a little bowl. And I'm going to put it in the fridge while we do our scones here. What you want to do is, here, that's scorching hot, darling. Don't, you'll regret it. Is you want to take a little bit of saran wrap and cover your curd with no air in between. Your curd will, no, darling, here, I'll give you a little tiny bit and you can blow on it. It's too hot. Okay, here. Your curd will form a skin, and so if you put saran wrap on the very top surface of your curd, it will stop the skin, okay? Here, Scotty, you need to blow on this. Oh, yum. Blow on it, darling.
Fait que, un coup que tu as fini tes curds, tu peux mettre dans un bol comme ça, ou plus gros, ça ne dérange pas. Puis après ça, tu vas mettre un petit morceau de saran sur le bol, parce que sinon, ça va faire comme un peau surface.
Not everything translates very well, does it?
Well, skin is peau.
So I'm going to pop this in the fridge. It will not be fully chilled, but it'll be better than nothing.
Go ahead.
All right. Yummy, hey? I'm going to pivot you back, and we're going to get started on our scones.
So good.
Okay, guys? Is that yum? The kids can't wait. They're eating a little bit already. Okay. So what you need for your scones is a bowl, rolling pin, cookie sheet, and a pastry cutter, or your hands, or forks. En français?
Fait que tu as besoin d'un bol de même, métal ou en bois ou n'importe quoi.
Okay, Haley. So Haley isn't quite done yet. We'll just wait a couple minutes for those of you who are still boiling your curd. That sounds weird. I'll drag my heels on this next part, okay? And we'll wait for you, Haley.
Tu as besoin du lait, du farine, du baking soda, no, baking powder,
Powder. Definitely powder. That's salt, yes.
du sel,
That's white sugar.
du sucre, du blanc sucre,
Des œufs,
2 eggs, yeah.
du œuf, et
du beurre,
du beurre. What was it? Et une comme cookie cutter ou tu peux utiliser un verre qui est comme comme ça.
Do you want to tell them how to do that if they don't have a cutter?
Si tu n'as pas quelque chose comme ça, tu peux juste prendre ça, tu tournes de même, puis quand tu es prête à couper tes biscuits, tu juste tournes de même, puis ça va couper.
Okay. How are you doing, Haley? You okay if we get started? Okay. So you guys, you've heard this spiel from me before about wet ingredients and dry ingredients. And for some recipes, it doesn't matter. Remember when we made the breakfast cookies and we could just throw everything into one bowl? That works great for some recipes, and then other recipes you want to divide out your dry ingredients and your wet ingredients. And this is one of those, okay? So in a bowl, we are going to start with our dry ingredients. Do you want to say that, Dale?
Okay.
Tu as besoin du farine. You need some flour.
No, just talk about the wet and dry ingredients first, love.
Fait que pour cette étape, tu as des ingrédients sèches puis des ingrédients mouillés. Fait que on va commencer juste avec des ingrédients sèches ou secs, sèches. Fait que les ingrédients sèches, tu peux mettre tous les ingrédients sèches dans une boîte, puis mélanger, puis après ça, on va ajouter des ingrédients mouillés.
Okay, so let's start with our dry ingredients into a bowl. 3 cups white flour, okay? Now, you've heard me say this before, and just gonna friendly remind you that
It has to be level.
It has to be level. Thank you, Rowan. Don't overfill your cup measure and don't underfill it, okay? So
égal à la top, à la haut de la comme measuring cup.
thank you. Those can go in the sink there. Yeah. That was 3 cups flour.
Fait que, première étape, 3 tasses de farine dans le bol, puis après ça,
Into our flour goes 5 teaspoons of baking powder. Not tablespoons and not baking soda. Okay, guys? One more time. 5 teaspoons of baking powder.
Tu as besoin de 5 teaspoons de baking powder.
Do we know what baking powder is in French? Or is it just the same?
poudre de cuisson, je pense.
Okay. Perfect. Scotty, don't, darling. Put your baking powder in.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Et la pâte d'eau sèche. Ingrédient.
Okay, your next ingredient is 1 teaspoon of salt.
Here.
Ok, fait que après le.
Rowan,
She's
please.
okay there.
Okay, Scotty.
Dump it, Scotty.
Thank you, Scotty. Kate and Scotty, your next ingredient is salt.
Fait que maintenant c'est du sel. Merci. Suivant, c'est du sucre.
No.
Just hold on.
Ah,
Okay, one
Attends.
teaspoon salt.
And this.
And your final dry ingredient is 6 tablespoons of white sugar. Okay?
No. No.
Did we already do that?
No, mommy. Sugar's not dry.
It is here. But thank you, Ronan. He's right.
Is this 6
I usually tell you that sugar is a wet ingredient, but we're putting it in with the dry this time, okay? 6 tablespoons of white sugar.
that?
You love it, Colleen? I know what you're talking about. I don't. I do not love it. She does this every time. Scotty is just the sweetest little girl. I think it has to do with the time of day that I do these lives. And it's a lot of pressure for her being on video. So she's just really sweet and easygoing. But she seems to melt down during these videos. Okay, so just to recap, 3 cups white flour, 5 teaspoons baking powder, 1 teaspoon salt, 6 tablespoons sugar. Okay, so stir this all around, you guys. Use your, you can just use your spoon and stir it all around.
But there's a lot of lumps.
I'd like you to use your spoon and stir it all around. Awesome. And once it's well stirred, you can put your spoon down.
I can't see a sugar.
That's okay, that's what you want, darling.
Mix it in.
You want it well mixed. Do you want to talk about that en français, Dil?
Ok, fait que maintenant, tous les ingrédients sèches sont dans le bol. Tu peux mélanger avec une cuillère. Fait qu'on on a 3 tasses de farine, 5 tasses de thé de poudre de poudre de pâte, c'est ça. Et après ça, on a 6 tasses de thé de sucre et du sel.
All right. We are going to take 6 tablespoons or 1/3 cup butter. Thank you. So 6 tablespoons or 1/3 cup butter. I find it easier to go by cups.
Moi aussi.
This is, when Dale does all of his baking that he does, he finds it easier to use the cup measure too. And so when I'm talking about when Dale does baking, I mean, how long have we been together? A long time. And he's never baked. So it must have been in his childhood that he's talking about.
Yep.
Your butter goes into your flour mixture.
Here, you're gonna get it all.
Don't do it for her.
No, Scott.
For the love. Don't do it for her.
Yeah.
Are you struggling?
No.
Okay.
Okay,
So you guys,
you have to wash your hands.
when your butter is in your flour mixture, we need to take a pastry cutter that looks like this. Or, Scotty, can I show them yours, darling? A potato masher works really well too. If you don't have either one of those, you can use 2 forks or yeah, you can use your old-fashioned hands. The goal here, now you don't need to overdo this, okay? This is important. The goal here is that you work your butter into your flour mixture until it has little round pea-shaped balls, okay? You don't want to overdo it, and you don't want to overdo it. So we're not talking about giant lumps of butter. Pea-shaped balls. Dale, how do you say pea-shaped balls?
Des petits morceaux comme des pois verts.
It is butter.
Fait que dans le bol, quand tu as mis
Just like this.
ta beurre, tu mélanges. Puis quand tu vois des petits morceaux des balles comme du pois vert, c'est prêt.
I need help. It feels very weird.
Okay, Scotty.
You need help,
Get
Scotty?
going, darling.
Do you want to put your hand or I'll put my hand?
Okay. So remember, Rowan,
Here, put your hand on.
for those of you at home, Rowan's going to remind you, where do dry ingredients like to hide?
The bottom or the sides.
That's right. So make sure to scrape down the bottom and the sides. And just keep on going until you've got pea-shaped little lumps of butter. Good job. Scotty,
I'll help you.
Scotty, why don't you get ready to crack some eggs? You love doing that part, hey? Do you want to come over here and crack some eggs, Scotty?
Crunchy. crunchy.
Okay.
It's crunchy. Can I crack my egg?
No, not in there, honey.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Scotty, do you want to come over here and crack some eggs in this bowl?
Crunchy.
Come here, babe. Right here, honey.
Wait, what?
While your dad does that, you can crack eggs.
Can I crack them in here?
Okay. Yes, please. Crack them in there. Ron, do you want to take out your eggs? Okay. So when you guys have pea-shaped lumps of butter, just put it off to the side. Your next step is you need a bowl and 2 eggs.
Fait que maintenant, quand c'est fini avec le beurre puis les ingrédients sèches, puis c'est mélangé avec des petits balles de poire, genre, on va prendre 2 œufs, puis on va mettre dans un bol.
Hi, Sue. Hi, Jill.
Cette fois, on sépare pas les œufs.
Good job, Scotty. Nice. Okay. Do you want to take your eggs back?
Mom, somebody's here.
Yeah, she's picking up an order in the bin. Okay, bring your
Okay,
eggs
Scotty,
back,
you can bring them
darling.
over here. Do you want me to carry them?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So 2 eggs into a bowl. You can put your eggs in with 1 cup milk. We're using almond milk today.
Mom, the egg white, it acts like oil kind of.
Yeah, it sort of looks like oil. It's not. So that was 2 eggs into 1 cup of milk.
Fait que 2 œufs
How are we gonna stir this?
dans une tasse de lait, du lait.
So break your eggs and mix them up. Rowan, please don't spill. Break your eggs and then mix it up very slowly so that your milk and your eggs mix together.
Nope.
No.
And I'm gonna put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Fait que dans le bol avec les œufs puis du lait, on a ajouté 1 tasse de thé de vanille.
Okay, guys, so our wet ingredients are done and our dry ingredients are done. And now it's time to combine them. So Rowan and Scotty, do you want to take your wet ingredients and dump them into...
I still have egg white.
Okay, well, keep on mixing it around.
Merci.
Daddy, go.
I think it's good. Okay, put it into your dry ingredients. And now we want to take a big spoon.
Is this good?
That looks great, thank you. And mix it around. Okay, you guys, you don't want to over mix this, okay? You don't want it to be tough, and if you over mix it, it will turn out tough. And that said, you don't want to under mix it. So remember that flour likes to hide on the bottom of your bowl and the side of your bowl. And you want to mix it until it's incorporated, but don't overdo it, okay? How are you doing there? I think we might have more luck if you use this spoon. Okay? There you go.
Could
How are
I
you
use
doing?
this then?
You could. Yep. Here, let's make this.
Yes.
Just don't flip it up. Go like this.
Oh, this looks good.
I like to do
I know,
that.
but then it's gonna...
Okay, so just mix it until all of your flour disappears. And you can't see any wet or dry ingredients anymore. Don't overdo it.
And and try to get all the lumps.
Thank you, Scotty. Now, it will be lumpy. Don't stir anymore. It will be lumpy. Okay.
And try
Mais c'est pas grave.
And sticky.
Sticky.
Et comme.
Yes. It definitely will be sticky.
And try to get all the lumps off the side and off the bottom.
Thank you, Scotty. You want to say some of that in French? Can Mommy help you with a little bit of? No. Okay. All right. I'm going to pivot you around. I'm going to show you with Rowan's dough how to shape these. Okay. Move my beautiful glass. All right. So you want a cookie sheet ready, and your cutter, a lifter. And we're just going to put some flour down. Just wait, please, Rowan.
Is this good?
So we're going to put some flour down. Otherwise, this dough will stick.
The side
Oh, brother.
and the bottom.
Okay. Do you want to grab the rolling pin, darling? You can't see. That'll be helpful. Okay, so this isn't like cinnamon buns or bread where we need to knead it, but I want to put some flour on here, and I just want to bring it together in a ball, and it will be very sticky, okay? So I am going to gently knead it just enough that I can get myself a ball that is shaped. Okay. There we are. Move my flour around so it doesn't stick. Now, the way I like my scones are small in diameter and tall. And the way we get a tall scone is, one, we don't roll it too thin, and two, we're gonna crowd it on our cookie sheet, okay? But when you crowd it on your cookie sheet, when they rise, they'll be forced to rise up because they can't go out. So I'm just taking my cutter. If your cutter sticks, just dip it in some flour. And I always do the outside. Pardon? You want to do some? Okay, come get at it. When it starts to stick, make sure just to dunk it back in the flour. Do you want to see some of that, Dale?
This one's
Okay.
broken.
Pardon?
It's broken.
It works great. Go for
Ok,
it.
maintenant, on a pris le...
Mine is broken.
On a pris tout ça, puis on a mis sur le comptoir avec farine. Puis on a roulé, ça a l'air que à peu près un rond de 10 pouces. Puis ça va donner, je pense que tu peux faire à peu près 20-24 biscuits avec ça. Puis chaque fois que tu vas couper des biscuits, tu mets dans le fleur, puis ça va, parce que c'est collant.
So what I like to do, if some of them are kind of misshapen, just take your hands, floured hands, and just roll them around in your hands like this. And it'll give that nice tall shape. Okay. Now,
Elle est incroyable.
you want your scones almost touching. Not quite touching, but almost touching. So I can get, on this cookie sheet, I can get 4 across. Now Rowan has, hold on one sec. Rowan has cut all of our dough.
C'est pas 24, je m'excuse.
No, but
Can you just wait, darling, and I'm going to show them how
we're
to
gonna
do
roll
that.
it again.
Yep, I'm going to show you how to roll this again, okay? Because you don't want to waste your...
Fait que la première fois, on a eu, je pense que 12 biscuits. Fait que dans une ligne, on a 4 chaque colonne.
Canes.
Okay, Okay, so
we got 15.
if they stick together and they're no longer round, just make sure with a floured hand, you just can reshape them like that. You don't have to be fussy. Remember, nothing in life has to be perfect. Okay. Awesome, thank you, Rowan. Okay, so I'll show you what to do.
I think we're gonna need another.
Yep, we've got another cookie sheet here. So we're just going to reshape this dough. The trick is you don't want to over-handle biscuit or scone dough. So I just basically put it back together in a round shape, and then we can recut again. Now, when I was growing up, my mom made biscuits a lot. My grandmother, and I bet my great-grandmothers made biscuits every single day. It's a PEI thing, and they were very Scottish, and they had very, very large families. And I don't know if they had bread every day, but I remember when I went to go visit my grandmother.
Yeah, my my great grandmother, she had 15 kids.
So I remember when I was growing up visiting my grandmother, and I lived with her when I went to university. She had biscuits every single day. And so she made a lot of biscuits. And my mom, when I was growing up, she made biscuits a lot too. Not every day, but a lot. And with this leftover little bit here,
She'd make a big one.
she would let me make a tart. So I would roll it out thin, and I would fill it with jam, and then I would fold it over and close it up like a little mini pie. We're not going to do that today, but as a special treat, you guys at home, maybe your mommy would let you have this part, and you could make yourself a delicious tart, okay? So just roll it out thin, put some jam in it, and then fold it over, okay? Not right now, love, but we'll save it for later, and you can do it when we're done. Okay, so these are ready to go in the oven, and these don't cook for very long because remember our temperature is really high. I'm going to check how long our recipe says. Rowan, do you want to pop them in? Oh, and I didn't put how long they cook for. Okay, so we're going to put them in with oven mitts on. Oh boy. Okay, and we're going to set the timer for 7 minutes. We're going to set the timer for 7 minutes. And we are just going to babysit them after 7 minutes. Now I'm going to roll Scotty's out because we did double batch here. Thank you.
Low battery.
Oh, low battery. Oh no. Okay. Okay.
Fait qu'on a mis des biscuits dans le four pour 7 minutes, juste pour commencer. Et après ça, on va voir s'ils sont prêts, puis s'ils ont besoin d'une autre 2-3 minutes.
Oh, you want to do some? Okay, do you want to bring your chair over and you can cut some? Oh, I think that one's too big. We're going to use the smaller one. Okay, you could do one of those then.
Okay, bring your chair over, Scotty. Here.
Or Daddy can lift you up, either one. Kelly, we just got home. Okay, you could do it later, Cal. I'll post it.
Oh, yeah.
And also, it's not the same without you here, so smarten up and don't do that again. Hand towel.
Did you guys get new fish or like fish food?
Okay, sorry, I'm just plugging in my phone here. I don't know if it's gonna work. How are you doing there, Scotty?
Good.
Okay.
She said one.
And then we're going to use this one.
So that's
Yeah. So if you're doing larger biscuits, don't be scones, pardon me. Don't be surprised if they take a little bit longer to cook than ours will, because ours are a little bit small.
Okay. I just wanted to
Okay,
try.
Scotty, do you want to put yours on the cookie sheet?
She always does this.
Okay. Thank you. Honestly. Okay. So we'll get the rest of these on the cookie sheet, get them in the oven.
This one's touching.
Yep, that's okay. Touching or near touching is okay.
Just ignore her.
Who else has a 4 or 5-year-old? You know what I'm talking about.
There's only 11 people watching.
Yeah, people wanted to do it tomorrow, so they will join in after the fact. Okay,
Or maybe everybody was done this and then they left.
these are gonna be good. Okay, just reshape this. We can get another little batch out of it. Did you guys get yours in the oven at home? Haley, how are you doing? Thank you. Teamwork.
Makes the dreams work. She's really crying louder.
Scotty's really
I
having
want
a
the
moment.
rest. I want the rest.
This is too much, love. You don't need that much. Oh, good. We can have 2 of you wanting.
Fine.
Super. Okay, I'm going to put these in the oven when the other ones come out. We're all done. Okay, we're just going to hang tight because I just have 2 minutes left on the timer here. See how they're doing.
Oh, they put white chocolate chips in
Who
there.
did?
Jody.
I put some white chocolate chips in my scones. There's something about key lime and white chocolate. Oh, Jody, I love your brain. That sounds amazing. So good. So on that note, some other flavors that you can do. Would you keep your hands to yourself?
Okay.
Some other flavors that you could do, you guys. Cranberry's really nice. Pumpkin, although you have to alter that recipe. Some almond extract with some glaze on top is really, really yummy. Strawberry scones. What else? Oh, I've had lavender scones, and that's really nice too. So you basically take dehydrated lavender and then what's that called? Mortar and pestle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lavender is edible.
Or
Ooh, those look good.
okay. I'm gonna set mine for 2 more minutes and I'm gonna check them then.
I like to dip them in soup. Or
Yeah.
have them with lobster. Those are different, but still good.
I have no idea what you're saying. You're whispering. I don't know. Raspberry white chocolate. Raspberry. Yes, Colleen, that sounds amazing. And the raspberries are to die for right now. And the strawberries. Those all sound great. Did I say Earl Grey?
Yes.
Did I? That would be really good too. So with the Earl Grey, you just take a very small amount of water in a pot and put in like 8 to 10 Earl Grey tea bags. And then you boil it down until there's almost no liquid left and it's just a really heavy concentrate. And then you can add that into your dough and it's so good.
Cream cheese and jam would be good too.
With some coarse sugar on top or some icing sugar on top, that sounds really good too. Hey. Rowan, darling, I don't want to whisper with you. I don't know what you're saying.
Like the
Thank
one
you.
that I was doing before.
Hey. Oh, these look so good. Okay, you guys, so I'm just reaching in and I'm feeling the sides of my biscuit, my scone, and I can tell that they're not done. So we're at, what are we at?
7 minutes.
9. Yeah, I set it for 2 more minutes. So I'm at 9 minutes so far, okay? And I'm just watching them closely. I don't like them when they're overdone, otherwise they sort of dry out. And I don't like any dry baking. But we don't want them underdone either because a raw scone is gross. You should say some French stuff.
Boy, it's a lot to repeat from.
How about not dry, not overdone, not
Fait que,
underdone?
on a commencé avec 7 minutes. C'était pas assez, fait qu'on a mis un autre 2 minutes. Parce que tu veux pas que le milieu de le biscuit est pas cuit, fait que ça va être juste pas bon quand c'est pas cuire complètement.
If any of you were wondering, Scotty is still having a moment.
Fait que dans 45 secondes, ça va faire 9 minutes.
Okay, so while we're baking, you guys should hit me up with some ideas for
Father's.
Oh, for Father's Day, we got to do that. But I mean for next week's baking live. I was thinking banana bread. Kids love to make banana bread. What else could we make, Rowan? Don't ask for macarons. They're too hard to do on a live. And don't ask for sourdough because the sourdough class is my bread and butter. So I can't give that one away for free.
Those,
Anything else is fair game.
remember those donuts that we made?
No, I don't want to do donuts. The other idea I had was cheddar bay biscuits, which have cheddar and garlic in them. And they're so
That's for
good.
lobster.
That's for lobster. Where are you getting lobster, Bill? Actually, the lobster fishermen set the traps yesterday in PEI, so it was a big day. I'm doing 1 more minute. They are just starting to brown on top, but I felt the side and it just feels still a little bit soft.
Fait que en haut, c'était un peu brun, mais les côtés, c'est
And those
Toujours
ones are
mouillé.
bigger than the usual ones that we make.
Do you think so?
Or is it because they're not cooled down?
It's the same cutter I always use, Rowan. Do you want to get out the lemon curd?
Yeah.
And we'll see how that's doing. Isla says they're in the oven. They're looking good. That's what I like to hear. Okay. So here is our scones here. They're definitely browning on the top. I'm just gonna...
That is not ready.
So while they're still warm, they are going to be more dense and moist than when they cool down. So, and I'm just picking one up to look at the bottom. And I think they're done.
think
So
they're
we're gonna
done.
take ours out. I'm gonna put our second batch in. Yeah, but we don't need to stay live for that. I will set the timer.
It's not ready. Or it's still warm.
I know, but we're gonna have some before it's ready. Okay, so Rowan is saying our lemon curd hasn't set, which we knew that was gonna happen, and we're okay with that. So if you want to wait until your lemon curd is perfectly perfect, keep it in the fridge until it's cool. We don't wanna wait. We're gonna eat them right now.
I do.
Scotty, do you wanna
We're
come
gonna eat
for
it
a
now.
scone?
We're hungry. We're gonna try it. Yeah.
Just wait, love. They're too hot. Okay.
Yeah, put this in the middle.
So you guys, I'll just show you quickly what these look like. So the lemon curd,
It's still runny.
yeah, it could stay in the fridge for longer. That's okay. So cut your scone in half. And then a little bit of lemon curd. Seamus. Oh, Seamus is going to show up now.
Oh, Seamus
He's
is
so
here.
predictable. Here he is, just in time to eat. You going to have one? Yeah? So I made these for, there you go.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, I made these in kits with jam, scones, jam, and lemon curd for Mother's Day, and they were a big hit. I hope anybody who ordered them loved them. So good. So, Scotty, can I get you a scone? I am gonna go check on my girl. Let's say thank you and our goodbyes.
Merci tout le monde.
Au revoir.
If you followed our live today and you took any good pictures, yeah, you can have another one. If you took any good pictures, it's my favorite part. So send me the pictures or let me know how the kids did baking these. I feel like I have food in my teeth now. For everybody to see. We're really glad that you joined us today. I hope you enjoyed yourself and had fun. And I look forward to hearing ideas about what else the kids would like to bake. Thank you for joining us, and stay well and healthy and take care of your family. You want to say that in French, Dale? I miss you guys all very much, and I can't wait for this to be over and get back to normal.
Merci tout le monde. On va voir tout le monde la prochaine fois. Si tu as pris des photos pendant tout ça, Lisa aime ça. Puis tu peux envoyer les photos à Lisa. Puis ouais, c'est tout.
Okay, you say au revoir, boys?
Au revoir. Au revoir. Bye.
Merci.